right, so I hear you're getting married. Is that right?
Yes.
Awesome, that's good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so you wanted to have kind of a pre-marriage counseling session?
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
All right, so tell me, what are your ideas about marriage? What do you think it's supposed to be like?
Which parts?
The marriage in itself, just in general. What are you thinking? What are your ideas?
I guess like a commitment between me and my female that
Your female?
female
Your future wife, maybe?
future wife. Just a commitment between us that we are best friends, and we know that we have good times in store, but there's also going to be bad times, and that we are going to be able to communicate to get through those. Hopefully that we'll be able to start a family, have kids, and just, the next 40 to 60 to 80 years together. And there'll be hard times, but we'll know how to learn how to work through them and get through them. And I guess that's what marriage is, being able to find somebody that's a mutual counterpart that doesn't exactly fit everything that you don't have or is your mirror image, but is somebody that can complement you and help you get through the hard times, and you can complement her.
You seem to have a good foundation of what marriage is. So you talked about the bad times. How do you plan on getting through the bad times?
Just not being closed-minded, being able to talk. There's two people, there's always two sides to each story, and then you have to always be able to understand that you're going to have to come to a compromise. You have to work out and deal, and then there will eventually be a compromise. Doesn't mean that you'll win or she'll win, but there'll eventually be a point that both of you can see eye to eye on, and that will be the compromise that you go with.
So what happens when you can't compromise, where you both just have two different opinions and you're just not meeting in the middle?
Then you probably go for outside counsel.
You're gonna call me?
If it's a therapy session, whether it's going to family members or if it's going to somebody at church that you think is able to counsel and give wise advice.
That's good. That's good. So what are your expectations of your wife as it relates to sex?
I know that there'll be certain times that she'll be too tired. There'll be times that maybe we're upset and don't really feel like it. It's kind of hard that I know coming from a Christian background, it says not to deny that kind of thing, sex toward your mate. But I know there's going to be times that even though you love her to death, that you also are mad at her as all get out. You don't want to even be in the same room or touch her. But I think there's going to be. It's just. I think sex between two people is just about who. The actual sex is about who feels comfortable doing what and coming to a conclusion about what each other feels is appropriate, inappropriate, and acceptable.
So you talked about what's acceptable and unacceptable. From your perspective, what do you find acceptable and what if you don't find acceptable?
I don't know. I guess kind of open and don't really see anything as unacceptable.
So anal sex,
except for like bringing in other people into the bedroom. I think whatever each other's comfortable with, I think that you can go toward it. Maybe try it. It may not be for the couple. It may be. There's some things that I've never experienced that maybe inside of marriage that we'd try, and it may be something that is pleasurable, and it may be something that's totally nasty that we won't ever think about doing again, or something like that.
What are you expecting, like frequently wise, with the whole sex thing when you're married?
It depends, depending on careers and things like that. Of course, everybody has this honeymoon dream that, 5 times a day, every day of the week, but as you get closer to each other, I'm sure that the frequencies are going to slow down. However, it's going to probably be quantity or quality over quantity kind of thing. And also one of the teachers I've had kind of talked about like are you willing to take the person as they are? Say they get in an accident and aren't able to have sex. Are there alternative ways of having sex, such as say the genitals aren't working, does things like hugs and kisses and things like that become acceptable forms of sex? In such situations, maybe oral sex would be the ways of pleasuring, since other things aren't working and feelings aren't there as far as like the body's not working right. So.
Wow, that's good. I think your fiance there is kind of lucky. You got some good perspective going here. So what, like you said, your wife could possibly be in an accident and things could be, hindered in your relationship. So how do you reaffirm your wife in those situations? How do you feel like that's, how do you feel like you do that if she doesn't feel as sexy one day or,
It's the same thing as, a woman has a baby, she's feeling a little fat, you have to reassure her that she's still beautiful in your eyes. Say she becomes crippled or something happens to her arm, leg, she has, which my stepmother's going through right now, just had a double mastectomy from breast cancer. You just gotta be there, love her, and reassure her that she's still beautiful in your eyes and that you want to be with her.
It's good. You're on the right track. It's good. All right, I think that concludes our session today. Maybe not. Okay. So, how many long is that? 6 minutes? Oh, not bad. I thought it had been longer than that. But anyway, so I guess we're going to continue our session. All right. Let's see. What other questions did I have for you? What questions do you have for me? I didn't ask that. I'm sorry.
I don't know, from your viewpoint of being a female, what the questions that you've asked me, how do most females feel about frequency, I guess? What would be some of the things that they, I guess my future fiance or future wife, what would be some of the things that she would be kind of questioning that she might want to try, that she would be, say if she came from a really religious background or something like that, that she might have qualms about doing but be somewhat interested in, but at the same time she might not be able to bring up the statement that says, hey, I would like to try this because it's been by my religious beliefs always said to be improper, immoral, and not something I should do.
Well, every woman's different, so I can only really speak from my perspective. But what I've been hearing in different counseling sessions is that a lot of the girls, especially the religious girls or Christian girls, have wondered about toys in the bedroom. Some people feel comfortable with that, some people don't. Other things that I've been hearing about is anal sex. What else? Masturbation, things of that nature, if those things are okay or not okay. And again, I always express that that's generally a conversation that you would want to have with your future spouse and getting a comfortable understanding, because in my perspective, I find I'm comfortable with those things, like except for the anal sex, just being honest. But it's as long as you're not being disrespectful towards your spouse and the things that they want and they need in the relationship, then it should be fine as long as you're both comfortable with those things, Because obviously if you're married, God designed sex for marriage. Therefore, there's an open playing field on what's acceptable in a marriage. There's not really anything that's off limits. So, Are there any fears that you have in regards to sex or pleasuring your wife or future wife?
What about like anatomy? I know that some smaller ladies have smaller organs, and same thing with larger ladies, they have larger organs. And what if I've had friends that have told me like their partners, they were smaller girls that had huge partners and vice versa. They were big girls that couldn't fill their smaller partners. What would you do then if you were virgins at the time of marriage and then or hadn't had sex with your partner, and then you get married and you have sex and find out that it's hard to please or impossible to please your partner?
There's techniques for that, actually. In regards to the smaller organs and the larger organs not working, there's techniques of you can start off slow and use lubrication, obviously. In regards to not being able to really pleasure each other, I would recommend the Sensate focus technique, and basically what that is, it kind of takes away the pressure of having sex in itself and learning to enjoy each other just sexually. So it would involve basically you being able to touch your wife and then not going towards the sex, but just allowing her to feel pleasure, just she's communicating with you what she likes and what she doesn't like and things of that nature, and then bonding on a more emotional kind of level. Does that make sense? So, and it would be kind of vice versa for you, for her, for you. She would do the same thing. She would find ways to touch you and stimulate you the way that you needed, and you would communicate with her. And of course, there would be no pressure, no demand for sex or anything of that nature. You know, once you are aroused at that point, it would stop, and then you'd bond in that way until you both became more comfortable, and then would move to the next level of actual intimacy and sex. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. Well, that concludes today's session. Thank you very much for meeting with me, and feel free to come back anytime.